A year where the planets are aligned, the studios get out of the way, and filmmakers make something unforgettable. Most people say 1939. Some people say 1974. Film Twitter says 2007. All of those people are wrong, and I can prove it.
You cannot prove it, Don.
I can and I will, because the year is 1986 and I will die on this hill.
You are going to die embarrassed on that hill because the year is 1999.
Today we're arguing the greatest year in cinema history. I have 1986. Cherrae has 1999. Only one year can win. Neither one of us is backing down. We're Theatrical Conjecture and Dissertation, a fancy name for an unfancy show, where we discuss the movies that raised us for the generation that may have missed them.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Okay.
How do we, before we start throwing titles at each other?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
We're going to establish what we're actually judging, because the best year is a bit of a trap. Like, we could say the most best picture nominees, we could say the highest average critical score, or cultural impact over time. And those are like three completely different arguments.
I mean, there's obviously always a little bit of that. But for me, the reason I chose 86 is because these are movies that when you say the name, people almost get a visceral reaction to them. I mean, they stand the test of time. Like, they're movies that people will watch again and again and again. Now, at that time, in that year 86, I mean, these were successful at the box office. But just success in the box office that's not really what I'm going for. To me, it's one of those things where it's a movie that through the decades, it still has something that when you say it or talk about it, people will still kind of light up and like, I saw that, or I remember that movie. That's how I'm kind of looking at the movies that I chose and why I chose this year. I think this year just has a number of movies that people can watch even now and still love them to death. And I think there's a couple of hidden gems that I think if people saw, they would really be shocked at how good it is, and maybe how some other movies now are really influenced by them.
Mm-hmm. I think my biggest criteria for what makes the best movie is every movie that you saw that year, you were sitting in the theater like, oh, this changed the game. Oh, this changed the game. Like, oh, this changed the game. Like, it expanded what a film could be, like what we could do with cameras, what we could do with technology, what we could do with CGI and scripts and acting, and using cinema as a language in a way that wasn't just straightforward telling a story, but like creating an experience that changed the game. Which is why I have 1999, because I felt like 1999, so many films that came out that year completely changed the game.
Okay.
But I'll let you go. Let you make your case. What are your movies?
1986. Not only a great year for movies, but that was the year my beloved New York Mets won the World Series. But on topic, staying on topic. Okay. I'm going to go through this list, and listen, I honestly, after this, I think we're done here, but I'm just going to start number one. Top Gun. Do I need to say anything else? Top Gun. Crocodile Dundee. Platoon. Okay. Now, this is a heavy hitter coming up here. Aliens. it, look, I'm just giving you probably one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever, Aliens. For good cultural reference here now, The Golden Child. Look, if you know Eddie Murphy's discography, or sorry, movieography, The Golden Child's overlooked. Check it out. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. If if that wasn't a movie of our childhood, then I don't know what we all wish we could do when we were in high school. You've got Little Shop of Horrors. We've got the Three Amigos, Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, Martin Short, Heartbreak Ridge, Clint Eastwood, Mario Van Peebles, An American Tail 5, a movie I cannot watch again because when they sing that song somewhere out there, it's just waterworks. Okay. I've got Hoosiers with Gene Hackman, The Color of Money, Paul Newman and Tom Cruise, Pretty in Pink, 9.5 week. Classic coming of age. Well, not the 9.5 weeks one. Sorry. Pretty in Pink. Stand By Me. Come on. Come on. The Fly, Jeff Goldblum. Great. I might say that movie kind of really put Jeff Goldblum out there. Maybe I'm wrong. I think so. The Transformers movie. Now, this is not a spoiler anymore because it's been 40 some odd years. This is the movie Optimus Prime died. This is the movie when I was in the movie theater, I heard children weeping when that
All right, for
happened.
the children out here, the Transformers movie was a cartoon, not
Yeah,
not the Michael Bay stuff. Just so
go
you know,
find this original. Oh,
yes, yes.
this broke children. She's got to have it. Spike Lee started the man on a generational run. Big
Let me
Trouble in
pause for
Little
one
China.
second.
Come on. Kurt Russell, baby. Running Scared. This is my hidden gem. Running Scared. Gregory Hines, Billy Crystal. They were what Lethal Weapon wanted to do. They did that first. Running Scared. They were Chicago cops. It's a great, great movie. I challenge everyone to go watch it. You'll love it. And my last one, come on, Highlander. Highlander. Listen, now mind you, oh, wait. And two honorable mentions we're going to throw in. Raw Deal, which put Schwarzenegger on the map, in my opinion. And then probably one of Stallone's greatest acting turns, Cobra. Come on. Come on. You're the disease. I'm the cure. Oh my
Ready.
goodness. I mean, it's just, listen, this discussion's over, I think, but
I mean,
do continue.
these are certified 80s classics. I'm not gonna lie, these are very good movies. But I feel like all of those movies were the epitome of this is the best we can do with with what we have, if that makes sense, in terms of the visual
Yes.
language of movies at the time, the way that audience sentiment at the time, the way scripts are written, the way stories are told. These are like the cream of the crop of hero's journey, linear storytelling. We are not rewriting how we do any of this, but we are going to show you the best of how to do this. Is my opinion.
Did it well. They did it well.
They did. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So for 1999, here's what came out. Just imagine you as a young child of however old you were, fresh faced and still optimistic about the world, and you're going to the movie theater when it only cost like $6 for a matinee, and it's still maybe $10 for a nighttime movie,
Maybe.
and $7 or $8 for some popcorn and a drink together as a combo. And you went and you sat down and you watched The Matrix, or
Okay, yes,
you went
yes. Yeah.
and you sat down and you watched Fight Club. Or you
Okay.
sat
Okay.
down and you watched Sleeping American Beauty. Not Sleeping, American Beauty. Or Sleepy Hollow. or The Talented
Okay.
Mr. Ripley, or The Sixth Sense with the twist. The twist
Yep.
before the twists, before the twists, the twists, or The Sexual Awakening of Many Across the Spectrum, The Mummy. The first one. You have 10 Things I Hate About You. We have The
Good
Green
movie.
Mile. We have Magnolia, which is so underrated. It's so good.
That's true.
Paul Thomas Anderson, Tom Cruise, man, that performance in that movie. Julianne Moore in that movie is heartbreaking. That movie is so good and so it redefined like how you could tell a story by just following these separate people and how their lives converged or didn't and how they impacted each other. It completely gave us a new language for what a nonlinear but complete story could be. We have Girl Interrupted that year. We have Election that year. We have Three Kings that year. Broke Down House. I still have to sleep with my ears covered because of that movie. We have American Pie came out that year, which completely revamped the teen comedy.
Yeah.
Like that brought that right back around.
That's true.
We have the South Park movie came out that year. That completely changed the game for what animation could do in a way of pushing the envelope the way they were doing on television, but like how it could push the envelope in terms of like social and political commentary. Let's see. Being John Malkovich came out that year. Dogma came out that year. Let's see. The Blair Witch Project came out that year, which I'm not saying the Blair Witch Project is the best movie, but we'll talk about that one in another episode of movies that defined a genre. Like the Blair Witch Project really started that whole genre of the found footage horror movie. The Bone Collector came out that year. Deep Blue Sea came out that year. Bicentennial Man, which we talked about in the Matrix episode for a little bit, came out that year. Like it's just so many movies. Austin Powers came out that year. Done. What are we talking about?
Continue.
I mean, I feel like I've made my case. I mean, we have some other movies that were definitely classics like Big Daddy and, Lake Placid, The Haunting, but I feel like just Austin Powers, The Matrix, and The Blair Witch Project, like those alone
Okay.
changed the cinematic language that we were used to. It was like, oh, being John Malkovich, we can do this with a movie. I never thought about a movie that, if you've never seen Being John Malkovich, that movie we should have talked about that in the Matrix episode. It's so interesting. Like these people find a door, it opens into a portal that gets them inside John Malkovich's head. The actor, John Malkovich. And so they're able to take him over and puppeteer him. First, they're just voyeurs watching his life and him interact, and he feels like someone's watching him. Then they're able to because the main character Lloyd is a puppeteer, and that's John Cusack.
It's John Cusack.
Yeah, and Cameron Diaz is in it, and Catherine Keener's in it. But just that movie alone, made. I think 1999 was for me. I was in school. I was doing filmmaking, the film program, or I was doing the drama program. And it made me switch to the film program because every movie that year made me feel like I could do this. I want to do this. I want to speak to people like this. I want to create a language that could speak to people like this. I no other year I feel like that maybe it's just me because it's a seminal in my experience as a pursuing filmmaking as an avenue to express myself. It really, all the films were able to redefine what it meant to make a movie and what we could do and how creative we could be, and that audience would still get it, you know? like I don't know, it's just the potential of the movies, like the philosophical questions they asked, the ethical questions that they asked. Like I feel like they 1999 asked a lot of the audience. Like they asked us to sit in our shame. If 1986 gave us popcorn entertainment that was like spectacle, let us
it
entertain you. 1999 was like, sit here and look at what you did.
yeah, that is exactly what I was going to say. 86 was probably a peak year when every studio was in their bag and says, they might not have been thinking it, but they like, we know how to do an 80s movie.
Yeah.
And we know in an 80s movie, it was big. 80s movies were big, loud, and they would tug blatantly at emotions. Like Top Gun was big and loud, and that just made you want to go and join the Navy and fly. You know what I mean? Aliens, big, I mean, it's definitely, more actiony than the first Alien movie, but it leans into that 80s action type of feel. I mean, you had something like I said, like Raw Deal, what I thought was like Schwarzenegger's coming out party. Just an 80s action movie. It makes no apologies. It doesn't try to be nuanced. Nothing like that. It is just in your face, loud, which is what that's sort of how the 80s was. I mean, 80s was very much a me sort of a decade. It was spending money where it's all about excess and wealth and just going over the top. And that's what some of these movies kind of encapsulate. Even something like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, a good comedy. It is absolutely a way over the top comedy. For some high school kid to be able to do any of that, but we loved it because it was just something big for any high school kid that to wish they could aspire to do crazy stuff like that. Um, I see what you're saying for your 90s. I mean, you definitely have some classics there. I just think in my 86 films that there's some names there that if you just say like that and this could be more cultural amongst us. Like I think when you say you go to somebody, hey, have you seen She's Gotta Have It? It's just like, oh, that's Spike Lee's first joint. Yeah, I mean, it's just boom, like people kind of know what it is and know what it started. I mean,
I think
Big
that's the
Trouble in
fundamental
Little
difference, though.
China.
In
That's
I
a fun movie.
It is. I think that's the fundamental difference, though, in our argument is
Mhm.
your deck or year of movies is very much the cream of the crop of that decade of movies that the point of movies is to give you the audience something. They're very much giving us
Yes,
entertainment. They're giving us
yes.
joy. They're giving us pleasure. They're giving us, titillation. They're giving us something
Giving us
nostalgia.
everything. It's all
They're giving us
excess.
the excess of the 80s.
Yeah.
And by the end of the 90s, we have the movies that came out that year specifically are asking us to give back. They are demanding
Mhm.
things from us. Like they are definitely making us question maybe the excess of the 80s. Maybe they are, directly a response to the excess of the 80s. They are, yes, you have this raunchy teen comedy, but what are the implications of that? Yes, you have, this hyper masculine movie where, but then Fight Club is like, is that toxic? Like you have this
Right.
wonderful, amazing, like technology's doing this and this and this. And then the Matrix is like, but what does that mean for our future? Like these movies that came out in the 90s are probably because those directors and writers and cinematographers that made these movies in 99 came up on the movies from 86. You know what I mean? Like we did. Like they are definitely a response to those movies from 86. They are a rebuttal to the polished, glossy, overlooking, you know, outlook of just entertainment into like, but what does that mean? What are the implications? What can we do to make things better? What have we done to make things worse? Like, it's asking a lot of questions. It's asking a lot. Like, I will agree. Like, the movies from 1909 are asking us a lot of questions that could maybe be uncomfortable, but they are is still movies that you can watch. Like, if The Sixth Sense is on TV, I'm watching it. You know, if
Yeah.
you know, like if The Matrix, obviously, I've seen The Matrix like a million times. Like, I'm 100% watching that every time it's on. Um,
But there's definitely 80s. I think some of these 86 movies, you would definitely, I
for
mean,
sure. I
those
can't
are
I can't
classics.
I can't argue I'm not gonna watch those movies over and over again. Like, they are definitely, there's a comfort there. There's a, you know, and I'm not taking your side. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that when the world that we live in is so uncomfortable and asking a lot and demanding a lot, that there is something comforting about a 80s movie that you can just turn on and kind of
Mm.
relax to. And I'm not going to say necessarily turn your brain off. I don't think they're mindless. It's not mindless entertainment, but it's heartful entertainment. Like, they're definitely giving you a warm movie hug with these movies and patting you on the back and telling you everything is going to be okay. And sometimes you do need that. Like, I'm not going to say that that's not without merit. Um
Th- Now, there was definitely one movie I left off.
mhm.
Uh, and it's funny, like, this could lead to another topic that maybe you kind of want to touch on later, but
Okay,
I'll
okay.
mention this. I left off because it also exemplifies how definitely in the 80s, there was definitely no discernment in the humor and what they were going to put out there. You know the movie, Soul Man.
What? Oh my god, what?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You know the movie Soul Man with C. Thomas Howell,
See
where
Thomas Howell in blackface?
yes, yes,
Oh my
and
god.
basically
Children gather around while we recite the ancient texts.
so
Okay.
now we could go into a
Okay.
whole thing that there were so many movies that there, woof, woof, but Soul Man is kind of one of those that it's not it's definitely
You
not
have
brought up
to
because it was a
explain
good movie.
you have to explain what this is, because they don't know.
Well, Soul Man, it was a movie about he was trying to get into he couldn't get into a college, but there was a scholarship available to an African American person, and he
Yes, because his
decided
parents were rich,
he's
but
rich,
they didn't want to pay for his college.
and so for him to get into this college on this scholarship, he decided to. It, supposedly, in the movie, I think he goes to some tanning salon and stays there for.
N- No, he takes some kind of medication, this melanin
Is it Medicaid?
medication.
I thought he
It
went
was
to
like
like a.
permanent. No, it was like a
No, it wasn't
permanent.
permanent.
I mean, no, but like it wasn't makeup and it wasn't like
It wasn't
tanning.
makeup.
It was like a
And,
medical procedure, like a
and so
pill or something.
he gets and he puts
I
on
don't know.
this t-
I don't know
terrible
if
Jerry curl wig.
was it a wig, or was it supposed like the melanin pill made his hair
Oh,
into a Jerry curl?
well, let's put it this way: we know for the sake of the movie, it was a wig.
This
I don't
movie on
remember.
its own is gonna lose this argument for you.
To me, this movie it helps it only because it's. I think if I definitely know if Gen Z was to watch Soul Man today, they would look at it and be like, "How in the world did that make it to movie theaters?" Oh, oh, it was so. Oh, the '80s was a different time, kids. Soul Man with C. Thomas Howell. It's when it's brought up, it is brought up because of how problematic this movie would be nowadays.
Yeah,
Incredibly.
Oh my God. That movie by itself, John, is going to lose this argument for you.
Soul Man. Oh, I totally forgot. I was like, that's right. But
I
again,
mean,
it
what are we
it
talking about?
you have to admit the movie encaps again, like I just said, it encapsulates the 80s in that listen, damn near anything went. They could put it in a movie and they were gonna show it. And if they were gonna put somebody in blackface basically the whole movie, they they sure as hell were gonna do it. It's oh I mean,
I
I think there's like a,
mean,
if I remember, there's like a dream sequence where he is kind of pimped out and he's
oh my
yelling at the
God.
the girl. Yeah, it's I think it's because Ray Don Chong is in this, and you know that's supposed to be his love interest, and I believe there's some sort of dream sequence where he is in the very stereotypical pimp, and he's trying to talk ghetto-esque, and he's calling her a bitch and a hoe, and like go. It's
I can't even, I don't even, I would have hidden this title in the depths of your notes and never brought this and hoped
if we
that
could
I
if
didn't
we
bring this title up
if we could
as a
find that scene
trap
and post
to your
that scene to
argument.
this episode just to show these Gen Zers what we had in the movies. Oh my goodness. But see, I think this only helps my argument because 86 was crazy enough to put out a movie like this.
I mean,
Oh man.
I will give you Ferris Bueller. I will give you The Fly. I will give you Top Gun. I will give you Labyrinth. Um, Aliens, Blue Velvet, Platoon. But holy crap.
But not Soul Man.
How is that the crown jewel in your argument?
It is it oh God, this movie was so
Oh my God, I'm crying.
oh look,
You're losing it. You did you just throw this? You just threw it. Like
I took the pin out that grenade and threw it in there.
oh my God.
Soul Man.
Jesus Christ. Okay, okay, okay. I think that we should do a poll. I think that the audience should decide. I think that you
Yes.
lost this for yourself and you have no one to blame but yourself.
Once I brought up Soul
Um,
Man.
once you decided to tank your own argument.
Oh, I thought I just lifted it with craziness.
Oh my
I,
gosh.
I
Oh my
will,
gosh.
I do give your year, I do give it a lot of credit. Um, and obviously, yeah, I'm definitely being biased because I do know back then in the 80s when that's like junior high and high school. And I did go to the movies quite a bit, even just by myself, because I remember our movie theater was blocks away. I mean, I could either walk it or I remember taking a bus. I could take a bus to get there and a bus to go back home. It was not a big thing, you know, in Miami. And so having seen a lot of these, the 80s for me was definitely a huge uh, movie time. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and I did not see uh, Soul Man in the movie theater. That I didn't because I believe was it rated R? I think it was.
Was it?
Hold on.
That's crazy.
Let me see if I can find the rating. Oh, PG-13. And
Which
and
meant something different back then. Like you could get away
oh,
with things in PG-13 in the 80s. So if you are out there looking at older movies and you catch a movie that's PG-13 and you're like, there's titties in this movie. Like there were things that you could get away with in PG-13 that you couldn't get away with today
you actually had
with
to
pushing a movie
and you
into
actually had to show
territory.
ID too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember
Supposed to get
I got carded at Blade. When that
really.
came out, yeah, yeah, they definitely used to card people at movie theaters. Um,
That's a
wow,
different time.
Soul Man. But I think that the audience should vote.
Yes.
And if they have a different year, you can also put that in the chat or put that in the comments if you think a different year is the best single year we're talking about of movies that, like, either box office wise or, you know, cinematic achievement wise, or whatever criteria you think makes the best year in movies. You can put that in the chat and comments, and maybe we'll argue about it. If there are any other topics you want us to get into or any other singular titles you want us to discuss. You know, I think, me thinking now back on the 86, all of the movies that came out in 86, I would have seen either on VHS rented or when cable was new. Like Stand By Me was running on TNT like a bunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that would run over and over and over again. And all the movies from 1999 I would have seen in the movie theater. And so that definitely fundamentally changes your experience of a movie. Seeing it in the theater versus seeing it at home is a different experience. And it can create a different, I almost want to say nostalgia, or, you know, it's a different experience that makes a film bigger or more important than maybe it would otherwise be. Seeing it in, you know, a packed house with a full audience might make a comedy funnier than if you saw it at home alone on your couch, like streaming it on Netflix. Might make it seem like, oh, this movie's fine. But if you saw it in the theater with the full house and everybody's laughing, you're like, this is the funniest movie I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like there is something to be said for the theater experience and how you experience these films. I know 1999 was a year, that was a year that was really hard on my wallet, because it was also during the this is how old we are. This was kind of around the DVD conversion from VHS. So I owned The Matrix 3 times. Because when it first came out, I bought it on VHS.
Like
And
VHS,
then,
DVD, Blu-ray.
yup. And
Oh,
so
oh,
so
yeah.
then this newfangled disc called DVD was the new hotness, and you had to buy it again because now you had a DVD player. And so I bought it again. And then there was the HD DVD versus Blu-ray debacle. And thankfully I chose correctly and bought a Blu-ray, because then I would have bought it a fourth time if I had bought an HD DVD, and then that format completely went extinct. And I mean, we're not even gonna get into Laserdisc, but
Listen,
we
I
could
just,
do a whole episode on just
we,
video formats. I think that'd be really interesting because there's some
th-
really interesting history and lore behind the
here's the
format
only thing I'm
changes.
going to touch on with that, because you're right. I think we could do that. I knew one kid now, and this is going back to probably, definitely dating myself, 82, 83.
Okay.
He had a laser disc of Star Wars.
Wow. How many
And
discs was
when I
that?
tell you, I thought he was the richest person I ever met.
For sure. They were expensive AF.
And he was living in the future, because he had the disc, and it was a disc inside this little plastic sleeve, and it had the Star Wars on there. And I was like, oh my God, you can see a movie in your house? And he was like,
Okay,
yeah.
for the youngs who don't know what a laserdisc is, a laserdisc is before DVD. It was the size of a full album record. So it was
You,
like big,
you.
huge, but it looked like a DVD. It looked like a CD. It was shiny plastic, like your typical DVD or Blu-ray disc, but it was like this big. And
I mean, I mean,
it only had the capacity of a record. So like you only
yeah.
got a half hour on one side. So then you
Yes,
had to like flip that bitch over to watch the other half hour. And then you had a second disc. If you had a 2-hour movie, it was 2 discs side side. So
yes.
you had to stop the movie after 30 minutes, flip the disc, watch the second half hour, get the second disc, watch 30 minutes,
You,
and then flip that
oh,
bitch for the end. Like,
now
it was
mind you,
so disruptive.
laser discs
It was
came out in
beautiful.
like late 70s. Like they
It was
came out early.
beautiful. Like the picture quality was great, the sound was great, but
And I
the
remember
convenience of it was
he slid it
nonsense.
in and he had to push it down. And we're watching Star Wars, and I was like, this is amazing. Now, and again for the kids, these are not flat screen TVs. These are
Mm.
tube TVs, probably no
Mhm.
bigger than 30 inches at most. Okay. And then you're right. It might have hit half hour or at some point in the movie, and then he had to flip it, and he would press it, and it would pop up, and he would take it, and he would flip it over, and we watched the rest of the movie. I swore, I said, this kid is Richie Rich. I mean,
Mhm.
how he gets to watch movies in his house.
Yeah, that was
Amazing.
definitely changed the game on. I think we should do an episode about formats and just how, we've come from this,
Oh yeah,
movies as a communal experience. Like the only way you could see a movie was in the theater, to
in the
being
theater.
able to stream it in your home. And then, with the streaming now, there's a big push with the younger generations to re-owning physical media, because you don't own your movies if you have a license for Amazon. If you have, you bought a movie on Amazon, you bought a movie on Apple Movies, they decide to revoke your license key, you don't own that movie. You just owned permission to watch it
To
until
watch
they
it. Yep.
decide that you don't have that permission anymore. Um, but if you own the disc, if you own, I have VHS still. Oh, we have a VCR. They still play. Like, you own that movie. You can watch it anytime you want. There's nothing worse than wanting to watch a movie and it's not on any streaming service. Like, we were trying to watch The Book of Eli for months. It was nowhere. I think it's finally came back around, but
Mhm.
owning
Did
that
you ever have the
physical
beta?
media, we never had the beta. Those were expensive too. Okay, we're gonna save this. We'll
Yeah.
save this for another day, another
Save that.
conversation. But
Yes.
we will talk
Yeah.
about physical media and how that changed the movie watching experience. Like, it really did. But anyways, I'm right. Dawn is wrong. But if you
We will see. We will let the
if you
people
have
decide on that one.
yes, if you want to decide in the comments, you can leave a comment and let us know what you think the best cinematic year was and why it was 1999. You can like and share and leave a comment. And we'll see you next time.